What's up guys, it's your girl T, and I wanted to do a drugstore slash affordable only get ready with me because I was so inspired by the thing that I can't find right now. Where did I put that? Okay, and we're back. I was inspired by the Miss Amores lip palette from e.l.f. This is their collaboration that they did with Beilin, who is right here on YouTube. She is one of my favorite YouTubers. I've been subscribed to her for years. She is just one of the warmest, funniest, and just one of my most favorite people on YouTube, and possibly in life if I ever get to meet her. In any event, she collaborated with e.l.f. She's doing big things. I'm very excited for her. And this is her lip palette that she created with e.l.f. I love that her collaboration is with a very affordable brand, so it's accessible to people. Now, this is not something that is available in stores. You won't be able to get this at Target. I believe if you live near an e.l.f. store, you will be able to get this, but it is available on the e.l.f. website, and that's where I got it. As you can see, it's got 6 colors. You've got a purple, looks to be sort of like a brick reddy color, a nude, a more pink nude, a orangey coral color, and then a classic red here on the end, which is what I'm wearing right now. The palette is inexpensive. It is still available on elf.com, so if you're interested in it, you should definitely go check it out. They're all very glossy colors because that's what Edie's likes. And I agree with her. I love a glossy lip. I know matte is all the rage, and I love a good matte, don't get me wrong. In any event, I decided to do an all drugstore affordable makeup get ready with me in honor of Edie's collab, and that is the look that is on my face right now. I also made sure to try to use all affordable slash drugstore tools. Like my brushes are all Real Techniques, or, you know, Morphe, which are at least inexpensive brushes. And that is pretty much it. So what I will do is swatch the remaining 5 shades for you guys so you can see them all, and then we'll get into the get ready with me. Here are the swatches. As I said, you can see the colors are very glossy because they're reflecting a lot of light and kind of getting washed out, unfortunately. The hardest colors to build up were, I would say, the purple and this pinky nude here. It almost disappeared into my skin. And I would say that the first red, which is the second color in the palette, is a lot deeper and more pigmented than the last red, which is the one I'm wearing on my lips. Those are the swatches, and now let me get ready. I usually start off with eyes just because of fallout, but I'm using cream shadows today because, quite frankly, I just prefer cream shadows, so I tend to use them more and more and more. So instead, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little color correcting, mainly in my goatee and mustache area, and I'm using the Loreal Studio Secrets Anti-Dull Skin Primer. And I'm going to use this ridiculous looking Real Techniques diamond sponge. For foundation, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. My shade is Classic Tan. I'm a Classic Tan. Even though my skin is oily, I've been enjoying this foundation. So long as I don't have to worry about being on camera at work, I can get away with having somewhat glowy skin at home when I'm just filming myself, but I have to be like crusty ass dry matte looking just to look semi-normal at work when I'm on camera, just because of the way they like me. I've got 2 shades of the Maybelline Better Skin concealer. I've got deep and medium deep. I'm not a fan of the reverse raccoon eyes, super bright under the eyes, but the deep shade is a little bit too dark for me under the eyes, so I'm going to use the medium deep. This Real Techniques sponge is decent. I like it in terms of the feel of it more than their Miracle Complexion sponge, which I actually used to love that sponge. And I started using that before I ever took the plunge and spent the money on a beauty blender. But unfortunately, once I felt what a actual beauty blender feels like, there was no going back, because that is, to me, just the best feeling sponge on the market, and there's a reason that they're the original. But if you've never tried a beauty blender, I would say keep on not knowing what you're missing, because there are pretty good you know, alternatives out there that cost a lot less, and I would say this one's one of them. I don't know if I love the shape, but in terms of the feel, it's pretty good. I'm gonna set my under eyes with the Sonia Kashuk Brightening Powder. This is just a Real Technique setting brush. I love this brush. I have a couple of them. I use it pretty much every day to usually set my under eyes. It's the perfect size for that and named appropriately. For eyes, I'm gonna keep it simple, which is what I always do, and I'm gonna use Chestnut Taupe by Rimmel. It's an eyeshadow paint is what they call it, but it's basically just a cream shadow in a tube. Just softening those edges with the Morphe G24, which I realize is not technically a drugstore product, but it's in the affordable price range. I'm gonna take a little bit of Maybelline Color Tattoo in Tough as Taupe and just kind of work that into this brush, and then I'm going to use that to kind of blend out the edges of that Rimmel shade. I love this color, Tough as Taupe. I wear it all the time, sometimes just by itself. That Rimmel color was sort of dried out. It wasn't applying like it used to, so I'm actually going to bring some of this Maybelline down to help kind of intensify what I have on my lids a little bit, because the Rimmel just wasn't showing up the way it's supposed to. Sticking with these taupey gray colors, I'm going to use just a L'Oreal gray eyeliner. And then this pencil actually has a little smudger thing on the back that I like to use sometimes just to soften the line. Been wanting to film this for quite a while now, but it seems like every weekend we get overcast, rainy weather lately in LA, which I'm kind of okay with. I'm more than okay with it because we've had a drought for 5 years, maybe longer. So I'm happy to finally be getting some rain, and I hope that it's raining where we actually need it to be raining and not just here in the city. But in any event, I shoot with daylight whenever possible, and I kind of get discouraged from shooting if I can't rely on daylight. But I had to just go for it today because I'm not going to let weather stop me from grinding on this channel. I've really been trying to be more consistent this year with putting out content on a semi-regular basis, and so far so good. Clouds be damned, we're filming today. I'm gonna do a quick coat of mascara with Miss Manga, which is my usual mascara, but it doesn't really matter because I'm wearing lashes anyway. Okay, I'm gonna pop on some lashes and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Let's do something about these no eyebrows. First, I'm gonna use the Ulta Brow Tint in Deep. Talked about this recently. I think it was in my products that don't get enough love on YouTube video. I'm just wiping a lot of the product off of the brush and just onto the little lid here because there is too much on the brush when you pull it out. And it's a pretty thin product as well. So you guys can probably see the difference from this brow to this one. Now I'm gonna go make this one match. Wiping off the brush and just also using a light hand with this product. They're pretty critical, but once you get the hang of it, it's a pretty nice tool slash trick to have in the back pocket for days I'm in a rush and I just can't be bothered to do my brows for real. Today I'm actually going to go in after with pencil and fill in any spots that I want to beef up a little bit more, but on days where I just ain't got no time, I'll just use this alone and be out the dough. Just to touch up any last sparse areas, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer Pencil. The reason I like to use that brow tint first is it does such a good job. I don't really need to use as much pencil after, or as I said, I sometimes won't use any. So I like to use that to do most of the work, and then just a tiny amount of pencil in a few spots. Not to mention, you know, trying to keep this drugstore for this video slash affordable, and there just aren't too many good drugstore options for brow pencils. They're all red for some reason, and this one even kind of falls into that issue. I prefer the ones from Sleek, which is a UK brand, but I want to finish this up before digging into a sweet pencil, but I will be excited to be done with this because I'm not a huge fan of the red brow. Brows done, I want to do some bottom lash mascara. One downfall of this Miss Mango mascara is the bottom lashes. I really have a hard time not looking crazy because the brush is a little big for my small eyes and small lashes. Not to mention the formula kind of gunks up on the brush a little bit, which doesn't pose problems on the top, but it does on the bottom. Let's add some dimension back into my face. I'm going to use the YouTube cult classic CoverGirl Queen bronzer. I have it in brown bronze. And this is a product where I've actually hit pan, which is rare for me, so it's very exciting. This is a Morphe E34 I'm using to apply it. And I'm going to do the old bronze tour situation, which is what I usually do. I've heard a lot of people on YouTube taking a hard line like, bronzer and contour aren't the same, like they're not for the same thing, you can't apply them the same way. And I mean, I kind of get that they're not for the same thing, but it's just not that serious. When it comes to makeup, you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. The makeup police aren't going to show up to your apartment like, hey, you can't put bronzer there. For highlight, I'm going to use a liquid highlight. This is the Revlon Skin Lights in 100 Bare Light. This is a very thin, liquidy product, so I'm actually just putting some on my hand here first, and then I'm gonna put it where I want it. As always, I'm staying away from the whole Rudolph highlight situation, but my face tends to do that on its own anyway, so even though I talk shit about that kind of highlighting trend, I also tend to look like that on camera a lot, even though I don't want to. Like even right now, I feel like my nose looks kind of shiny on the tip. That is not intentional. It's just my skin trying to play me. I'm gonna powder my face with the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder. This is a Real Techniques multitasker brush. So now, I'm gonna spritz my face with the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. Glorified water. So now all that's left is to pop in my nose ring, put on some earrings, and get to the piece de resistance, the lips. As you may or may not have noticed, I skipped blush because I'm not a huge fan of blush, or at least not every single time I do my makeup. And also with lips, you know, sometimes you may or may not need blush, or you may or may not regret the blush you chose depending on your lip color. So I'm gonna work backwards, I guess, technically backwards, and do lips first and then decide if I want to add some blush. So here is my Beilin e.l.f. palette. It comes like this, or at least it came like this for me. It's got a little pink sort of makeup bag situation. Oh, and it's got little sections inside. There's little pockets inside the bag. So you could put brushes in there and they would stay separate. That's kind of cool. And this is the actual Mis Amores lip palette. Ooh, and it has a lip brush. That's great, because I had actually gotten a lip brush just to be able to apply this, because obviously it's a lip palette, so you could use your fingers, but that might get kind of gross. But here it is. Those colors look pretty accurate to me in the viewfinder. Let me do that so you're not getting too much of my ring light in there and distracting you. My look is pretty neutral already, so I think I might actually go for one of the bolder colors. I think I'm gonna go with this red on the end here, this last one. And there we go. Not bad at all. You know I love a red lip, or maybe you don't. If not, hi, nice to meet you, I'm T and I love a red lip. Very glossy, very comfortable on the lips. Not the most pigmented, but still pretty good value for money, I would say. Especially since you get 6 colors to play with. I would say this would benefit just from looking how it is around the edges from having a lip liner, so I would recommend lining your lips with either a matching color for whichever one you're going to use, or just a clear lip liner. I know Milani makes one, I think Urban Decay makes one if you want to go higher end, but not bad at all. And that is it for today's video, or is it? Ambush giveaway! January and February of 2017 have been kind of explosive on my channel. There have been a lot of new people joining the fam, and I am eternally grateful for that. This is always just a kind of a hobby of mine. This channel is not what I do to make my bones. So it really warms the cockles of my heart that so many people decided to hit that subscribe button, despite the fact that I'm woefully inconsistent and the fact that I never asked anyone to. I don't do that. I work for other YouTube channels and it's like part of the script, you know, it's part of the best practices that you always tell people to rate, comment, subscribe, and now click the bell so you get notifications, and lick my ass on Twitter and tickle my taint on Instagram. I've just never really been able to get behind all of those demands that people have you follow them on their 80 different social media outlets, mainly because I'm a YouTube fan first and foremost, and you know, people want to subscribe, they're going to. You telling them 18 times in a video isn't going to be what makes it happen. So I'm very appreciative that people of their own volition decided to subscribe to me, and we are now at 25K and climbing. It's crazy to me. I never planned to really like do anything with this channel, but here I am officially doing something with it, and to show my appreciation, I am doing an ambush giveaway. I didn't put in the title of the video or anything like that because I wanted this to be for my ride or die fam. I will be selecting 2 winners for this giveaway, and what you will win is your own e.l.f. Beilin Mis Amores lip palette. I bought extras for this giveaway, and I got a couple other things as well. I bought 2 trendy turbans, so each winner will also get one of these. I'm only holding up one because they screwed up the order and only sent me one, but the other one is on the way in the mail. I went with leopard because I love leopard. You guys might have seen me wearing leopard turbans kind of a lot on my channel, and I wear them even more in real life. And I especially love these trendy turbans lately. I feel like they're so versatile. You can go kind of pal look at me with them, or you can kind of style them in a way that they're a little bit more low-key and more demure. So I wanted to be able to make sure that at least 2 of you guys can try these out because they are a little bit pricey. They're usually around 25 bucks, so one to each winner as well, along with the lip palette. One of the winners will also get the e.l.f. Illuminating Mist in Set and the e.l.f. Cream Eyeliner in Coffee, whereas the other winner will get, along with the lip palette, the e.l.f. Contour Palette. I'm not going to make you guys go on some crazy scavenger hunt of making you follow some other company on Instagram and then leaving a comment on my Facebook page with your Instagram. Like, I hate that shit. These are the only rules for this giveaway. 18 or over, US resident, gotta be subscribed to my channel, obviously. And to enter, all you have to do is leave a comment underneath this video letting me know if you would rather win the set that has the setting spray and the eyeliner, or the set that comes with a second palette, the e.l.f. Contour Palette. Whichever one you would prefer, just let me know. And that will be how you enter this contest. And I will choose the 2 winners and notify you. I will contact you. Make sure you don't have any weird privacy settings that might prevent me from being able to reach out to you on YouTube, because that's how I'm going to let the winners know that they won. And I will give you guys until March 15th, 2017. That is it for this video. Thank you so much to everyone who hit the subscribe button and watches to the end and therefore knows about this giveaway. So good luck if you're entering, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm gonna tell you that now.